Hello and thank you for joining us on Spy News. My name is Ibraheem Ismaeel Ahmad. These are the stories making the headlines. Students have been urged to dress decently in Adamawa State Polytechnic. Improper sanitary conditions bedeviles males hostels in Spy. Plus, Diploma 1 students express optimism over semester performance in Spy. Students of Adamawa State Polytechnic Yola have been advised to dress properly to decently dress their future. Mr. Jimmy Wada, a lecturer of English Language Education Department, made the call while speaking to Spy News. Correspondent Victoria Malgi reports.
Indecent dressing, a growing trend particularly in our tertiary institution, is almost becoming a norm, given the high number of students who dress indecently on campuses. Spy News sought the views of some stakeholders on the growing unpleasant phenomenon.
I feel that they are in the campus, they are not in their home, so this kind of issue of being well brought up that they should dress well, they don't used to do that again. In fact, they even dress as the daughters of the sea. Most of their body parts are not even covered, especially the girls. They don't even dress, they are even underdressed lighter or what. So the issue of dressing in this very polytechnic, in fact, is not encouraged.
It's because of the management. They failed to take necessary actions. They failed to take necessary actions on the cut of the dresses. That's the dress cut. By the way, if you can take a look at other students, their dressing is different.
Also expressing dissatisfaction over the development, Mr. Musa Mohammed, a student of the mass communication, laments that the way ladies dress nowadays in campuses is morally wrong from all perspectives of morality. Mr. Musa, however, pleaded with students, particularly ladies, to try and respect themselves, to cover their nakedness. As such, we revise their dignity and bring back the old decent way of dressing.
My call to students, especially girls, they should be dressing decently so that they will be look very good instead of dressing half naked. They are doing so because they want to attract the guys maybe with their body, which is absolutely bad. So we don't really do that. I'm calling for the students to take at least to stop this habit and dress decently.
On his part, a lecturer with the Department of English Language Education, Mr. Jimmy Wada, described such mode of dressing as improper and capable of damaging other people's morale. The lecturer finally advised students to shun reckless dress.
When you dress decently, people will respect you. People will see you as someone who is responsible. People will see you as somebody who has prospects in life. Students, teachers, people around should always dress the same.
Victoria Malgi, Spy News.
Students of Adamawa State Polytechnic lament over hike in price of commodities in the school cafeteria. The students who expressed their dissatisfaction with the development called on the stakeholders to consider and reduce the price of the commodities to enable poor students afford patronizing the cafeteria. Correspondent Ali Umar reports.
The school cafeteria is the only place where students buy food and other items for use and render some services. Statistics shows that over 90% of students living on campus, even those who stay off campus, at one time or the other, patronize the cafeteria. Although the cafeteria is meant for students to buy items and hire service at relatively lower price in the school environment. However, the students experience high increase in price of goods in the campus, particularly food items. Ahmed Musa, he further called on the authority concerned to look into the plight of the student.
Economic value even 0.1 discount. Or see buying things outside very much easier and cheaper than that in the school.
Also reaching the issue, Mrs. Ruth John, a student of Mass Communication Department, also explained that the price of commodities in the cafeteria are making it difficult for her and other students to patronize the school cafeteria.
Are more expensive than outside school because I don't know, some people don't understand the fact that the students just know that if you're back to school you have enough money to spend, just like things are more expensive. Like the recharge card, when you go outside the recharge card is 100 naira. When you come over here it's 110. I don't understand how it happens that way. And like many more things are like that. They're more expensive inside the school than outside the school. But I think it shouldn't be like that because this school we are students, we are not workers.
On this part, Mr. David Gideon, a businessman who deals in computer rendering service, says the increase in price of commodities and rendering service was necessitated by the increase in the price item all over the country as a result of the Naira-dollar saga. He, however, states that the businessmen in the cafeteria are trying their best in selling commodities and rendering service at the cheapest rate in town.
I have nothing much to say about this, but I think the little I can say from experience, people buy things very expensive and you don't expect them to sell it very cheap. And the second thing is everybody is complaining about dollar demand now. So probably the dollar is also affecting the rate of price of goods now in the market.
Spy News also found that a liter of kerosene is sold at the rate of 250 naira up to 300, and sachet water at the rate of 10 naira. Aliyu Umar, Spy News.
You are still watching Spy TV News. The indiscriminate disposal of waste, particularly in the maize hostel in Adamawa State Polytechnic Jola, is at its alarming rates when Spy News visited the campus yesterday. There seemed to be rampant disposal of waste, particularly polymers, food remnants, and other used and unwanted items. Ikwanu David Akau reports.
Disposals and waste like this are said to be one of the environmental pollution. That wasn't the case when fire is set to the heaps of such disposal polluting the atmosphere. It has been noted that most communicable diseases are contracted as the result of improper sanitary conditions of our environment. It is against this development that Spy News sought to know the implications of sanitary conditions from the acting director of the school medical clinic, Dr. Abubakar Umar.
We have to change our attitude towards clean behavior, towards respect for the society, towards self-discipline, that this thing is good for us. No matter what government put in place, if we, the society, did not make the best use of it, have a self-discipline, then it's tough going backward, forward. Like in the female hostel, this toilet is being provided. Somebody will shit in politics and be throwing it. Does government have to stand and be holding their hands? So we have to change our attitude.
He, however, noted that the number of manpower, particularly cleaners, are overstretched in the Polytechnic, adding the students should not always fold their hands and wait for school cleaners to clean their habits, as such will lead to contaminations of the environment. Dr. Umar finally urged students to behave maturely and keep their environment clean and tidy. Echonu Akau, reporting for Spy News.
Still watching Spy News. In the headlines, students have been urged to dress decently in Adamawa State Polytechnic Yola. Improper sanitary conditions may build males hostels in Spy. Still to come, Diploma 1 students express optimism over semester performance in Spy. These and many more after the break. Welcome back. As students seriously wait for the release of the 2015-2016 first semester examination results, new intakes, particularly from the Department of Mass Communication, expressed confidence and satisfaction over their performance in the last examination written. Correspondence has more.
First semester examination of the 2015 and 2016 academic section in Adamawa State Polytechnic Yola was the first experience to the newly admitted student of various colleges of the institution. Meanwhile, Diploma 1 students of mass communication were not left out as they read the exams in different mood. However, the students have what to say in regards to their first semester examination in the campus.
Putting fear on you. But by then now, if you have an exam, we will fine. After the exam started commencing, the first time it was like fear on our mind. But once attending the exams, we finished it successfully. I think we're expecting good results.
He further advised students to read very hard, as that is the only reason for one to either fear or not fear his exams. Sanitary reporting.
In a related development, follow-up by students, particularly in our tertiary institutions, has become rampant, making students to be lazy and rely on the tip of their ear to lecturers, tests, assignments, and exams. It is against this backdrop Spy News visited the office of the Students Affairs Officer, Mr. Mustafa Gisilambe. The Students Affairs Officer frowned at such gesture, describing it as educational corruption.
For a student to follow up or to go to the registrar, to the lecturer and demand for either additional mark or why he did not participate in a test or assignment, but he would like the lecturer to allocate mark for him. That is gross indiscipline.
When asked on who to be blamed, the officer was quick to respond that students and lecturers are to be blamed.
It is not good for the student nor even the lecturer to do that. And the result of that will actually lower the standard of the education in the school. And it will even tarnish the image of the institution. So it is part of what we call educational corruption.
He, however, called on lecturers to behave maturely and with sense of decorum in the discharge of their responsibilities as tutors, noting that students too should tighten their belt and know the reason why they came to school, instead of absenting themselves with follow-up a lecturer in order to seek for favor or allocation of marks. That has been Spy TV News. On behalf of the production crew, I am Ibraheem Ismaeel Ahmad. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.